Hey, it's Andre. It's time for another flying update. It's not Friday. In my hands is the Hangar RC. This is the Wasp, and I've been building this thing up slowly. Sam, thank you for being very patient as I got through it, because I actually was trying to enjoy the build. It's a technical one. I won't lie. It's a technical one. It's enjoyable. It is very enjoyable. The process of peeling off the paper, as I explained in the previous update, and then gluing everything together and the build. It is a good technical build. It's not hard. You just take your time and you punch through it and you go. So in the back of it, I am running, as I said, it is a 35, 42, 1250 kV spinning a 10-inch prop, which needed an excessive amount of balancing. I put in a 70 amp ESC and just ran a really long cord to the front of it. It has a gun kit into it and everything, and 4S 2200 40C, and it balances really nice. We'll probably run the 33 4S 3300s, which are 34Cs, I think, 35Cs, sorry. And they will work too. Just give me some extended runtime. And the next thing I do, I've just finished shooting some pictures with Sam, which I hope work out, because I want to run outside, put this thing on the bench outside, and spray it with some polyurethane water-based just to protect it, because there's no way this print job, which is just so gorgeous, will deal with the environment it's about to be subjected to. Cold, wet, the flying, I've really, because of the COVID situation, been really limiting my exposure outside of getting that all important exercise. So I haven't been going to the field to see the guys, which sucks. Haven't been flying, decided I won't even go out to the club and fly the extra, just because of everything that's going on. So you're going to see a lot of builds. I'm actively building, actively having fun, and that's what this big other aircraft is, and we'll get to the second. So, stay tuned. Podcast is coming. I actually might sit down tomorrow and just do a podcast to talk about all this stuff. So anybody who listens to the podcast through audio means will get an update on what I've been up to, and then Sam, as soon as he gets to studio, because they're doing a whole bunch of cool stuff, will be on the show to talk about all the projects and everything that are coming out from Hangar RC, or Hangar. I'll get him asked to tell me how he likes it. Anyhow, super excited about this airplane. Can't wait to go. Again, 70 amp ESC, 34, 42, 1250 kV, spinning a 10x7 prop on 4S, 4 metal servos, and off you go. So looking forward to seeing this thing going. Obviously, I'm a big fan of the Canada 150 color scheme. In the background is, and no one's going to believe this, I actually got a wing going. You'll have to excuse the poor covering. I am not very proficient when it comes to laminating. Probably the one reason I don't seem to be able to get past certain stages with these wings is the laminating job, and I don't get along for whatever reason. Ow, that actually did hurt. But it's colorful. I just used up some laminate. I initially had bought some red stuff, and I had just extra stuff lying around from Buddy, and so I made my Defiant Wing D28. Very colorful. You won't miss this thing. Of course, I'll be flying under the hood, so it's very simple. It is, again, a 4S setup, 4S 1800, 20 amp ESC, a 20 Emax 2204, 2300 kV, 5x5 whatever prop, 200 milliwatt FPV, simple camera setup. That's it. It was funny because Swiss Frank was online with me, and we were just chatting away about what I should set up. And this thing was a whole lot more complex initially, and I stripped it all back. There is a 12 volt UBEC on there, and that is simply because the eSheen video transmitters don't actually output above, or they're below 5 volts, so that the camera actually will not work. So I put a UBEC in there and fix the whole problem. So excited. I might fly this thing on 3S 2200 versus the 4S initially, do a line of sight test, make sure all my throws and everything are good. Same thing with this deal. I still got to finish doing all the throws on that aircraft and get that going. Also, TBR-30 Apex and Warlock are coming along. In fact, even Ruben your sweet wings will be done this winter, and I'm probably going to do an iNav project with that silly, big, huge Video Aerial Systems Chimera. Because this is my problem with the big wings, but with iNav, ooh, we might be able to actually throw these things up and make it work really good. So stay tuned. Lots to go, lots to do, and if I can get out flying, I will. Now, you're looking at this monster here. I'm not sure what fell. You're looking at this monster here and going, okay. So last week I was I was online and popped up in our local flying group, and this is the 1800 millimeter Skyhunter. So 3D printed parts. It's going to be a twin, and I'm really excited about that because I mean I could have done the pusher setup. It came with the motor and everything for $40 Canadian. I couldn't say no. But I want to do a twin, and so I found these really cool 3D print designs on Thingy Universe. I put them into the video description. And as I was tooling away and looking at this thing, I'm like, okay, fine, orange. I had a brand new spool of orange, so that's kind of dictating the color of the airplane right away. And I started actually, this will be a full-on iNav project, and I started designing on my own. I jumped back into Fusion 360 and really started looking at things. And the first thing I came up with, this is the VTX transmitter mount that I quickly designed. It will change, it will evolve, and it will turn into something a little different as I change up some of the equipment and learn and cut and everything. But I'm actually going to glue the wood mount in, and I'll screw this guy on. So I'm going to actually realign a couple of the details on this thing. They are on the universe, so if you need them, use them. But very simply put, sticks on the back. Because the motor's not going to be on the back of the aircraft anymore, I actually need to, and the CG is being moved around a bit, I actually can hang it off the back. It's clear, it's free, it'll be in the air, getting cooled, and a good transmission spot. Most of the other components are going to be contained within the aircraft. And the other piece of a kit that I 3D designed, will it come out? It's probably stuck in there pretty good now. But anyhow, I have photos to back all of this up. This is the FPV pan and tilt camera mount with a spot for the GPS transmitter or receiver transmitter. It was designed really quickly, allowed me to learn a couple things. Just the second design, it fits in there, cut a hole into it, and why I want to put this up here is because this servo has actually got a lot of throw, and I should be able to pan over and almost see the tail. I think it was a 180. No, it wasn't a 180, 160. So I should be able to almost pan back and see my tail booms with this camera up top. And that's why I picked that spot, and I actually am going to, that piece that fell off, I'll probably lock the canopy there, and then I have a really nice airflow over this whole aircraft. So again, super cheap, and I mean, shipping from Banggood was $70 for the thing, so I couldn't resist that. And switching it up for my FPV aircraft, I will be running the TBS, the Team Black Sheep Crossfire Micro 2 transmitter bundle. So that's the transmitter and 3 receivers. So all my iNav ships will step up. Not really flying long range, and not even doing anything too crazy. It's just I want the link. I want that data link to be secure and everything, so if I do go behind a tree or anything like that, I don't have to worry about it. Not that there's any issues, pardon me, with 2.4, but figured I'd try this out and everything. So there we go. Going to try and get a podcast out for the RC After Hours show and just keep plugging away. I still got to do a bunch of other balsa projects, and it's just going to be an interesting fall, winter session, a little bit different than traditional flying and everything. I will try and still get out there. I still hope to do a couple more reviews and everything and keep playing away. But the builds and the designs and everything will be obviously a huge part of that time and period. So there you go. I'm Andre. Thank you for following along, and have a fantastic weekend.